Hello, I'm MizLollipop. I want to talk about things that are bigger than life and some things that just don't exist anymore. I grew up with a drive-in theater in my backyard. I mean, from the time that we bought the house when I was 5, there was the remains of a theater there that I loved playing in. Had all kinds of rabbits, and the little hillocks and stuff were still there, and the posts for the speakers were there, and the screen was there. And then suddenly, when I was 8, they renovated it, and it became the Rebel Drive-In. And it wasn't an XXX theater; it was family fare. And although I always had lots of friends, and my mom and dad, even though there were 4 of us in this house, were very tolerant of my pajama parties, we would go outside and line up along the fence or climb up on the garage and watch movies. And so I've always loved these cult films, or what became cult films, and these grade B horror films, especially Vincent Price, and all these films that would not normally have been in my repertoire for my age. But drive-ins had already been in me, because my dad was a fireman, and in the town that I grew up in, the policemen and the firemen got into the theaters free, and their families. And so even before the theater was built, one of my earliest memories was being in the car with my mom and dad, and that puts me pretty young, because I'm the oldest of 4. So either Karen, my sibling, was an infant, or this was before she was born. And we were watching the 10 Commandments. And the first cinematic memory I have is of Moses putting his staff into the water and it turning to blood. And then the parting of the Red Sea. And that let me know from a very, very, very early age that, miracles do exist. Magic was real. And that set me up in my imagination from then on. But I have always, as I said, had these movie soundtracks in my head. When the old movie channels like American Movie Classics or the Ted Turner channels or any of the other things like this are on, a lot of times I can identify a movie simply by a scene. I guess this is a blessing and a curse from people leaving their speakers on and then leaving the drive-in. And as I said, me passing and from, my upstairs bedroom window, being able to see the screen. This was wonderful because we really didn't have TV. We did not have cable TV until, I guess I was, excuse the Pomeranian in the background, until I was in my teens. And there wasn't much on cable TV. So I saw many more films than I would have normally. Last weekend, Tisha Galore invited me to her premiere of Sleazy Cinema. And it was so much fun because it was so much like growing up. Before there was MTK 3000, or Mystery Theater 3000, for those of you not in the know, where people sat there and made outrageous remarks about very bad movies. We did this growing up. We did this with very, very bad movies because usually they'd have a famous film or a movie that was in the theaters, and then they'd follow it up with a double. Um, so, I saw, um, for instance, nothing's coming to mind. All that's coming to mind are the grade B films like Penelope and the Pill, or and it was Romeo and Juliet paired with Penelope and the Pill, and so you saw very strange combinations. But every dog has its day, and the day of the drive-in faded, and the day of the multiplex came in, and where that drive-in sits now is a funeral home. Now, we've moved my parents out from the town where I grew up and near us now. And it's very ironic to me that probably quite a few children that are grown now were conceived, so to speak, in that drive-in movie theater space. And quite a few of them will shuffle off in a ritualistic manner from that funeral home. You can't make that stuff up, people. Some things are just bigger than life. So, I, like Tushy, don't want to spread this out too much, but the sleazy cinema thing is fun. And so, check it out. Especially if you love the grade B horror, like I do, and the black and white film, like I do, and miss the things that are just larger than life. I really enjoy being back now. Let your light shine until I see you again. Bye-bye.